And welcome back to another fabulous addition to the Ennsville Twin Amphitheater. Don't fucking laugh at me. I want to get it right one of these days. Anyways, I'm Rene Guerrero here with
your boy Sean the Man Manning.
That was beautiful.
Today we're doing something special. We know a lot of you football fans out there are either very excited because we got the Super Bowl coming up, or if it's not, the Super Bowl is here today. We don't know when this is coming out exactly. But either you're really excited for it, or unfortunately, like myself, the Dallas Cowboys, I will let you know this now.
Oh, man.
I am a fan of theirs, so once they were eliminated, a lot of us are destroyed, as well as you Houston Texans fans I know out there. Unfortunately, your season ended in the first round as well.
Throwing some blows there,
I think we can all agree that we all share this moment in history as we've all failed. And whichever two teams are left, that were in the Super Bowl, best of luck to them. And we're hoping we can kind of, let you guys have some fun before the Super Bowl starts. And you can enjoy some other type of football that we have. What kind of football is that, Renee?
That's college football.
College football? What? We're doing a college football movie? What is it? Remember the Titans?
No.
You wish. You wish we were doing the Remember the Titans. But we're not. Renee, what are we doing?
We're doing the famous
Ablula
Oblongata. Medulla Oblongata.
Nah, that's not.
Doing...
You're probably so confused. You're like, what are they? What is that? What is Medulla Oblongata? Oh, we should just make that the title. People would be so shocked. Yeah. No, that's not what it's called.
Anyways, we are doing one of the most famous Adam Sandler movies, The Waterboy.
The Waterboy himself. The
Waterboy.
The boy water. The waterman/child.
And I wish it was a superhero, but...
He's basically a super... 16 sacks is impossible to be done by one person.
No, he averaged about 20 sacks a game.
He was averaging 20 sacks.
Okay, I want to start off by saying this, that during this time period, when was this movie made? Okay, the movie was made in 1998.
It was, wow.
It came out in 1998. And you can tell that Adam Sandler was like in this experimental phase where he's just coming out with characters, or you're just thinking of like, what about a very unsociable...
He's very antisocial.
A very antisocial Waterboy. And like...
That's super talented at football, even though he's never played in his whole life.
That's really fucking awesome. That's all I want to say and throw that out there.
It was an experimental time, I think, for Adam Sandler.
Yeah, and it turned out fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it really did. So we can pretty much get into it. Renee, you want to start it off?
Okay.
How does this movie start off?
Well, it starts off as a practice day.
Yeah, it's actually a practice. Yeah,
it's a day of practice. I forgot what the school was. The University of Michigan.
I have I think it was UL, University UL or something.
Iowa, Michigan.
I think it's University of Louisiana is basically what it's called, but because it's UL is on their.
Well, it's one of the two, and it is...
We're like, fuck, we have no clue.
It's a university.
Yeah, it is the University of Louisiana.
University of Louisiana.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about LSU. There's only references to LSU, but what happens is that there is this fine football team, very, very well funded.
Yeah, they're very well funded. They have a great. They're practicing. They're
very
good.
Practicing, and there's this coach and this. I guess I don't even know what they're called. Head coach.
He's the head coach. Yeah,
he's the head coach. His name is Red, and he is.
Yeah.
And they are looking fine this year. They're looking dandy, and he has a green playbook in his hand. That is going to be a common. How do I say trope in the movie?
Yeah, common trope. Yeah.
Okay, so. He has this green notebook, and he's just like, Coach! Or this other coach comes up, and he's like scouting out the talent, and he's just like, Coach, your team is looking great this year. And he's all like, oh, you're just saying that to kiss my ass and look at the talent for this year.
As he's pretty snarky.
He's like, you know what? what's in that green notebook that you have there? And he's like clenching it tight. It's all old and raggedy. And he's all like, you'll have to find out. And so they go on, and they're doing practices.
That's where our famous hero arrives.
Our famous hero.
He walks in, looks around, has 2 jugs of water on his back, strapped on like a backpack. He's Dora the Explorer, but with water. There is no boots. There is only water by his side.
And he's drinking a cup of water.
He's not even drinking a cup of water. He has an attachment to 2 jugs on his back to allow him to get the nourishment of the liquid.
He's a superhero.
He's a super water hero.
So he's like, and he's drinking the water. He's like, that's some high quality H2O.
I can't believe that's such a good impersonation.
And he drinks the fucking water.
I can't believe you just did.
What do you mean?
I can't believe you did that. It was such a good impersonation. I don't know how he does it. Look, he hasn't practiced this the whole time he's been here. He's never once talked like this. Anyway, so Waterboy is introduced. You see him walk in, and the football players look at him. They're like, "Look who it is." He's all, "Hey, go long." And like straight up, the quarterback just grabs the football while the water boy's testing out the water for the pH levels. He throws a Hail Mary pass straight at him, destroying the water around him. And I think it goes to Coach Red, right?
And he's just like, "Oh, Coach, why is that water boy here? I don't understand why we keep on bringing him back. He's just a distraction for the players, and the players are all fucking with him, throwing the cooler on his head, like pushing him down to the ground,
beating the shit out of him,
beating the fuck out of him.
He's
like
all nice kid.
He's a punching bag to the fucking football players, and he's like, I just want him off my field. I don't want him anymore.
So he looks at him. He says, "Hey, Waterboy!" And the famous Bobby Boucher himself.
He looks
turns
up.
to it up, and he goes, "Yes, sir." He goes, "You're fired!" Like as if he's Vince McMahon in the wrestling ring. Poor kid. That was the end of his career, as we thought.
So what Bobby Boucher sadly does,
he comes home to a catfish being cooked. A thick catfish being cooked.
He forgot that he rides a fucking lawnmower.
Oh yeah, rides a lawnmower home. Rides to a delicious entree of a catfish the size of 2 Christmas trees, just hanging there,
just defeated as a man. And he goes in and he's like, "Mama, I lost my job," and she's just like, "Oh my God, thank God you're done with that stupid job that you have." She's just despicable to him.
Oh, yeah.
So now you can spend all your time here with me.
Yeah, so she feeds him that damn catfish.
They eat that fucking...
He goes to his room and he starts watching wrestling, which every civilian, I guess, in this time period did or
in
should.
1998 was a big thing.
I mean, if I was, I would have.
Yeah.
Anyway, we related to him because we knew what he was watching.
Yeah.
So he's watching.
He's in bed in fucking onesie pajamas.
Yeah, onesie pajamas, and he's watching Captain. What is his name?
Captain Insano.
Captain Insano cut a promo, aka The Big Slow. No, The Big Show.
The Big Show.
Yeah, The Big Show. So you see him talking, and he's like speaking a promo, and they're asking callers to basically ask him a question. And
it's like a Q&A type thing.
Yeah, and so Bobby Boucher calls him, and he says, "Let me." I can't do his voice, and I'm not going.
What does he say?
No, he says basically tells him, "Hey, are y'all looking for like a water boy?" And he says, "Look, kid, how old are you?" And he's all,
"How old are you? 11, 12?" He's like, "I am 31 years old."
They just start laughing. I bet he's a virgin. Mean motherfuckers. They cut the promo on the kid himself. Who does that?
This is live TV.
Dude, live TV.
And
he starts closing up on the TV, the static on the TV. You could just see the emphasis of him. He closes his eyes and so much laughter. I've never seen such a sad view for Bobby Boucher.
I mean, he does what any man would have done. He just hangs up the phone.
So Bobby Boucher, I'm guessing, learns of another college. So he goes to this lower college. It's around,
which is called
it's
SCLSU.
Yeah, SCLSU.
That's the acronym, but it's Southern.
That's quite the acronym.
Louisiana State College.
Yeah, he went to SCLSU, and he goes over there to figure out.
for an open water boy position.
Yeah, open water boy. Well, there is none. He just goes to the coach. The coach
He's just going out on a limb.
So the coach, he goes to find the coach in a dark room watching old tape.
And this is where we introduce Coach Klein.
Yeah, Coach Klein.
And this is a remarkable specimen.
So Coach Klein is watching this football game, right? And you can see he's describing it to you as you're watching it, and you see the defense just getting annihilated. The running back runs up the field. He tells you he drops the ball. He has enough time to dust the ball off, pick it back up, run, and score a touchdown before the defense can even recognize what's going on.
Oh, there we go. We lost.
So Bobby Boucher comes up to him and talks to Coach Klein, and he explains to him. I think Coach Klein is like
Coach Klein is like, who are you? And he's like, I'm Bobby Boucher.
Yeah, he tries to explain to him a play, but he goes into like hyperventilation because of the
so
difficulty.
Fucking nervous and anxious that the room starts closing on him.
So he gets Bobby pulls out like some adjustable water cup and feeds him water. And
like he's a superhero of water.
And he explains to him like, how about I be your water boy? Because Coach Klein's like. No, Coach Klein tells him, this is how it goes. Coach Klein tells him, wow, this is some really good water. It sure is a lot better than what we have. And as the camera turns and you look at the jug of despicable sewage water that's been hanging there. Bobby Boucher's so shocked.
It's just a brown cooler.
Brown rusted. Looks like it's leaking sewage and toxin.
It water.
So Bobby Boucher said, I must be your water boy. And he's like, I can't hire you. That's impossible. He's like, I will do it for free as long as you do not distribute that drug to any human being on this planet.
He's just like, well, shit, we got a deal.
So he hires him on as the water boy.
So he comes on the first day of practice for SCLSU. And man, we are introduced to the football team of SCLSU.
Well, Renee, you're skipping a little bit ahead.
Am I?
We're actually introduced to the cheerleading squad that is completely drunk and drugged up on the field. You know, if you're going to be a cheerleading squad and you're already going to be drunk and drugged up, why are you even at the game in the first place? Is this how you party?
I don't give a shit about the going.
It makes you feel like they party on the field. They're like, fuck, we're so cool. Let me smoke a joint.
And the mascot's fucked up.
The mascot's are drinking the liquor through the helmet. Disgusting. So you're introduced to the cheerleading squad, and you're introduced to our assistant coach. Farmer Fred himself.
Farmer Fred.
Yeah, Farmer
That's
Fred.
The best character in the 90s that has ever came out ever.
So Farmer Fred goes up to Coach Klein and he tells him, he's like, when I heard him first talk, I looked at Renee and I thought I understood what he was saying, but I recognized at that point that I didn't speak the language.
Don't say.
I knew at that point there was no order. There was no order language. So he goes up to Klein and he's like, what?
And Coach Klein just looks at him like, what? And he's like, he's like, oh,
yeah, okay. just do that.
He said, make the defense just run sprints. He's
runs back to the field, start doing some jumping jacks. So Bobby Boucher comes up, and you're watching this team just struggling, and Bobby Boucher's heating up water.
He's
heating up water, which he's
and he meets his first friend,
which is actually Derek Wallace, the kicker.
Derek Wallace, he's part of the special teams.
And Derek Wallace is like, "Why are you heating up water? It's better cold."
He's like, "It's better cold." He's like, "Well, you gotta get the right pH balance."
And he tells him like this whole explanation, and Derek Wallace looks at him. He's like, "Yeah, mom tells me that all the time."
He takes off his glasses and looks so fucking mad.
Yeah, he looks at him. My mom tells me that all the time. Like, who really talks about the pH levels? So they're all cool. And while he does that, Bobby Boucher looks back and sees Coach Klein talking to the football. Coach Klein looks at the football and says, "Please, I need your help right here. You've got to help me." Like as if a literal football. He doesn't talk, he's just looking at it. And then he goes back to talking to Wallace, and Wallace explains to him. He's like, yeah, he does that all the time. He used to be on a big school, and unfortunately
he had like a mental breakdown
and had to quit. So by the time Bobby Boucher looks back at it, Coach Klein has decided to bring the football underneath him and protect it with his own warmth to hopefully sprout the football back into existence into this football team.
I don't know what the fuck is this problem.
You hear him breathing as if he's a pregnant woman, trying to get the football to respond to his request.
Making no responses.
So we go and from here.
We start getting into a little bit of a hazing onto poor Bobby Boucher.
Yeah, Bobby Boucher, he's like setting up the water on the quarterback G Granule, I think it's his name, but we'll just go with G.
Yeah.
G's like, hey, look at that new Waterboy. Why don't we just introduce him to the team?
And he's like, all right, go long,
go real long,
go real long.
Well, I don't know why he throws the football, the receiver catches it, smashes completely into the water in the table, crushing all of Bobby Boucher's
That was boiling water, so that must have hurt.
Yeah. He's such a jerk too. He goes, hey, water boy. He looks at him, he's like, yes. And he's all, what an asshole. Why would you do that to a guy? He just
didn't even meet the fucking guy.
He hasn't said anything to him. Bobby Boucher's just being a really nice gentleman, making
He's
them
water,
feeding them, It's as simple as that. This guy's being an asshole. And Coach Klein goes up to him, he's like, you can't just take that.
He's like, you can't take that. They're gonna do that to you all season.
Yeah, they're gonna walk all over you all season.
He's like, trust me, they'll do it.
So Bobby goes to like a flashback of when he was a kid. No. So one of the players comes up and asks him, he's like, hey, check this out, Bobby. Spits in the water. Spits in the water, and Bobby just looks at him, and then he goes to a flashback when he was a kid.
When he was a fucking 7-year-old child or something.
Like a spool. There's a spool as he feeds himself the water, and there's a football player goes, hey, Bobby, check this out. Spits in the water as well. He tries to attack him with like the little spoodle or spool.
But Coach Red, I don't even know. Red Coach.
It's Coach Red. Coach Red comes up and
he's like, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't gonna have no attacks or violent emotions on my football players. And he's like, but he's spitting the cooler.
And especially not from a water boy. And he goes back and water boy's just, Bobby Boucher's kind of just, oh shit, you're right, I'm a nobody.
And he's just fucking furious.
But Coach Klein explains to him like, hey, you gotta stand up for yourself. You gotta do what it takes. You can't let them walk all over you. And so we go back to the quarterback Guy, and he's talking more crap to Bobby Boucher.
Yeah.
So Bobby kind of like takes it in.
Yeah, he gets super pissed off.
And then he just starts running onto the field.
Fucking full on. He hikes the football, jumps over the
lineman, just spears the hell out of the quarterback.
Face full of fucking grass.
He's completely knocked out. The coach brings out smelling salt, wakes up the quarterback. Where, who, when, who dad? And Coach Klein decides,
he's all, son,
could you please be on this football team? And Bobby Boucher's like, I've never played football. And he tells him like, oh, well, just have you play football. I can really have you play football. So he goes to talk to his mom, which we're introduced to the best second.
It doesn't go as in like, oh no. He's like, well, my mama said, and he's all like, well, mama's gonna let you play football.
So we go to his house, and as we go to his house, she's making a fabulous dinner of a giant snake with an apple in its mouth.
I don't know how the fuck she caught this goddamn python.
This giant snake inside of this. I looked at Renee and I said, damn. The work she must have done to capture this beast.
It's a python.
It's a python straight. And she goes to him.
And looking at it, he's like, wow.
He's all, well, so what part do we start off with? And she looks at him and she says, well, there really isn't parts. It's just, if you were to think about it, it's just one giant knee. He looks at it and he's all, well, wow, I guess I'll take that.
And so he starts going into it, and he's just like, okay, we can really use Bobby Boucher on the team, and he can also go to college. And Bobby was like, college?
Yeah.
Mamma mia, college boy? How about that?
And his mom proceeds to tell him that college is the devil. As we all know in real life, that is the truth. So
now, his Bobby Boucher's mom has this weird fascination about calling everything the fucking devil.
She must see things that we don't. Maybe she sees things for what they really are.
I don't know. People in Louisiana are this fucking crazy. I've only been in Louisiana once, but...
You went to Louisiana?
Yeah, I've been to Louisiana. It's exactly how it seems in the movie.
Oh, goodness. Don't say that every day. They're nice people.
They're
not all like that.
They're really nice people. Farm Fran's a great guy, probably. I just, he can't...
He exists, is what you're trying to say. No.
I'm saying he exists.
Look, we're going off track. Basically, Coach Klein tries to explain to Mama Boucher that he wants Bobby to join his team.
Yeah.
And there's no way that Mama is going to let Bobby join that team.
Yeah.
And she tells him, I'm done with this football talk.
And no, she goes into Bobby's dad. She's just like, look.
Yeah, she told us that.
She said, if he's going to be playing and going to college all the time, he's not going to be here with me, spending all his time with me. Just like his father. Now, his father just one day up and left to the Peace Corps and never came back. And
yeah, she said like he passed away or something in the Peace Corps, so he never came back.
He left 4-month-old Bobby Boucher there with his mom.
Yeah, and
very heartbreaking.
So that she basically explains that, there was no way Bobby was going to end up playing football, and she ends the discussion with Coach Klein. And Bobby's kind of just stuck there. And Coach Klein looks at him and he's all,
he gets up and he goes to the door.
Yeah, he goes up to the door and looks back and says, my mom once told me to not get a tattoo. And Bobby looks at him and he's all, yeah, really? And he's all, yeah. But sometimes you're going to have to do what Mama doesn't know won't hurt her. He pulls his pants down. You see a big fucking picture of
I don't even know who.
I don't know who. Look, the Blues Brothers on his ass. One of the Blues Brothers and it's on his ass.
It's on his ass. Out of all places.
I don't know why he put it there. He just showed it to him.
He could have put it on his chest or like
on his ass. And Bobby's just kind of like, wow, that's impressive.
Coach Klein just showed me his ass.
So Bobby goes on to.
He ends up joining the team.
Yeah, he ends up joining the team. He
joins the Mud Dogs, the SC-LSU Mud Dogs.
And at first it's kind of quite difficult for him because...
Well, he comes to the first day of practice with no fucking helmet.
Yeah, he comes with no helmet, so the kicker...
it was just like, hey, man, look,
Yeah,
Derek Wallace is just like, hey, man, you can borrow mine. I'm just on the special teams, We can just trade off.
And as that happens, the coach comes up, Coach Klein comes up and says, hey... let's practice the team today. Have the kicker run some laps. So Farmer Friend's like runs away, starts running with it.
Start running. Farmer Friend's very athletic, apparently.
Yeah, really athletic. To be completely honest, it's very surprising.
So they go into the first day of practice, and we find out that Bobby Boucher doesn't know shit about football.
Coach Klein literally goes up to him.
I mean, he's been around fucking football players his entire life, apparently.
Yeah, and what's really interesting is Coach Klein goes up to him and says, "You've been a Waterboy for how many years? And you've never learned the football plays? What were you doing?" He's all,
well, I was doing the pH balance.
The pH balance, you understand how much work there is when it comes to water. The H2O must be completely purified.
So he's like, whatever. And so what he does...
He tries to teach him how to tackle.
And he tries to teach him how to tackle. He gets one of his, I don't even know who, I guess running backs, and he just puts him off to the side. He's like, okay, now tackle him. He goes up and he hugs him.
No, before he does tackle him, he goes, does he know I'm going to tackle him? And wide receiver's like, of course he knows. He doesn't care if you know. It doesn't matter. Just go and tackle him. He's all, okay. He's all, oh, if I'm hurting you, I'm sorry.
He fucking hugs him. He's like, hey, man, I think he's trying to kiss you, or you think he's trying to make out with you. Yeah. And Coach Klein's like, stop that. He's like, okay, do you watch any sports? He's like, I watch wrestling. And he's like, oh, wrestling? Great. Who's your favorite wrestler? Oh, Captain Insano. He's all...
Damn, Big Show, what have you done?
And he's just like, okay, do what Captain Insano would do to the running back. He's like, oh, that's easy. Open up a can of whoop ass.
He's like, yeah.
He's like, open up a can of whoop ass on him. And so he goes up, he looks him in the eye, and he pokes him in those goddamn eyes.
Like, oh!
He's all, Captain Insano, don't take no mercy.
Yeah, he says that. He literally says that. I remember that.
And so he's just like, oh, no, back up. And he's just like, okay, isn't there something that makes you angry, or like something along those lines? And he's just like, yeah, I guess there is. And then he's just like, okay, visualize all your anger onto him and attack. And he's all like, I guess so. And then so what he does is he backs up, and this is a very famous scene. He backs up, and a fucking Western showdown is about to happen.
And he looks
at him, and he see Coach Red's face onto the running back, and he's just like, "What's wrong, boy? You some kind of stupid?" And then he's just like, "No,
I'm not stupid." And he's like, "What are you talking about? I didn't call you stupid." The receiver tells him,
and then he goes,
fucking annihilates him, drops him to the ground, and then that's where you realize he was gonna play linebacker for that football team.
And he's just like, "Son, can you do that every football game?" He's like, "Not only will I do that every football game, yes, I'll do that every football game." And so
from there we go to
okay, so what happens is that he goes to his first college class.
Yeah, first college class.
So he's just his dear friend Derek Wallace comes up to him and he's just like, why'd you pick this class? It's really hard. And he's like, well, look at the great view, and it's a fucking beautiful
water fountain. There's only one more beautiful water fountain, but that will be for another review for another time. You'll see sooner or later what we speak of.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah, you do exactly what I'm talking about.
I?
Yeah, the Ducks, Renee.
Oh shit. Okay. Anyways,
for another time.
Anyways. So, this fucking Colonel Sanders professor walks in, and he's just, all right, now shut up. Everybody shut down.
Now, my first question is, why does a gator, it's a gator, right?
It was an alligator.
Yeah. Why is an alligator so aggressive?
And
Bobby pulls his hands up.
Well, Bobby Boucher's like, I know. He leans over to Derek Wallace. I know this answer. And Derek's like, well, raise your hand. And he raises his hand like a Greek philosopher.
As if he has an apple in his hand and he's consuming it.
He doesn't know how to raise his hand. And he's just like, oh, you, sir. And he's just like, he stands up in front of the whole class, and the shit that he says is fucking mind-boggling. He stands up and he says, Mama always said that alligators are always so angry because they always got on their teeth and no toothbrush. The entire class
starts laughing
at him. Fuck.
And he's proud of himself because I think he thought he had the right answer.
Yeah, and he's just like, he's all like, they're so angry because they have all those teeth and no toothbrush. Wow.
He just says, now you, mister, what is your answer?
He's all like, you, sir, can you please tell me why the alligator is so angry? And he gives him really sophisticated. He's all, well, the alligators are so angry it's because they have an abnormally large sector in the brain called the medulla oblongata.
He's like, correct. Bobby's like, wait, but Mama said
medulla oblongata. Shut them the fuck down.
He knew Bobby couldn't say that fucking word. He knew it. There's two words that are impossible to say more than 10 times. That motherfucker trying to challenge him.
So what happens here? He's all like, okay, class, does anybody know where happiness comes from? And little Bobby raises his hand like as he's holding an apple again. And Derek's like, no, don't do that. Put your hand down. Put your fucking hand down.
Put his arm, the Greek god in his hand.
And Colonel Sanders calls on Bobby, and he's just like, and Bobby stands up, and goddamn it, he says some ridiculous shit again. He's all like, Mama said, when you're ever feeling blue, rays of sunshine comes down and gives you light whenever you're feeling blue. And he's all like, well, I hate to say it, Bobby, but Mama's wrong. And then Bobby's all like, no, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong. Mama's right. And he starts walking out of class, and everyone's all like, oh, this thing. And then Colonel Sanders looks at him and he says, man, this boy has what an magubla obligado this boy is. And he turns around and the fury in his face rises up, and he goes, fucking tackles the fuck out of him.
He does do that.
And all the fucking men in the class get up. He's like, I'm sorry. Coach kind of said it was okay. It was okay to fight back. Coach kind of said it was okay.
You know, I just realized you called him Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, that's what they called him. That's what they called him. That's legit what they called him throughout the entire movie.
Is that the KFC fucking
yes,
guy?
it's the KFC guy.
The KFC guy. He's the fucking goodness, Colonel Sanders.
He called him.
You got me, Waterboy. You got me. So from there, we're actually going to the big football game.
Is it
so
the first
game of the
game?
season? Obviously, we get the
It's
best.
a despicable fucking crowd.
Well, the game starts off with the best performance that cheerleaders can give you. The alcohol in their hands and the drugs flying. And nothing better than a dog grabbing the big whiskey bottle and throwing it straight down his mouth. Because that's all you'll ever see from him.
And then he passes the fuck out.
Yeah, passes the fuck out. That's a party right there.
And so
we go to the football team, which the offense is obviously getting dominated.
Oh, yeah.
One of the fans out there literally says, hey, I bet you that other team will
I bet you that the quarterback will throw a touchdown pass first try.
First try. Throws the interception. Gets fucking picked. The receiver gets demolished. Completely demolished the receiver.
And he's like, oh man, you owe me $50.
He's like, hey, you moron. You said he scored a touchdown pass.
He's defeated.
So because that happens, Bobby's finally
and
up
by the
on
way,
defense.
Coach Klein's reading a book that's
Coach Klein's
college coaching for idiots or something like that. And he's really entertained by
He's
that
like, wow,
book.
of course this is me. That's why I'm such a stupid. So Bobby comes up and the coach tells him, gives them all like a little speech and says, hey, all right, guys, let's break. We can do this. Just you focus on this. And he goes up to Bobby and he literally says,
visualize and attack.
Before he says that to Bobby, he literally says, if I'm correct, butcher me if I'm wrong. Don't butcher me if I'm wrong. I do apologize. But I believe he looks at Bobby and he says, look, Bobby, we have no chance. This is all up to you. You just visualize it. Visualize it.
So he says visualize and attack.
So Bobby goes up there, and right when he tries to walk out, he hits him in the shoulder. He says, needle dick.
No, he says, watch where you're going, needle dick.
Needle dick.
And Bobby's like, he's like, watch where you're going.
Fucking jerk, dude. Who the fuck does that?
Just
I swear,
vicious motherfucker. Oh my god.
That's that guy in high school you knew. You didn't know why he did it because you thought maybe he had a bad day at school, but you knew he was really wealthy, so you didn't understand what he had nothing to look forward to.
Just a fucking high school bully.
High school bully
in college.
So Bobby goes in there and he looks at the quarterback. And the quarterback looks at him and he visualizes G. And G, he looks at him and he says, needle dick, needle dick.
Needle dick, needle dick.
And Bobby goes, I don't got a needle dick. Runs at him, knocks the fuck out of the offensive lineman.
The shit out of him.
Blows through him as if he's Lawrence Taylor himself. Runs at him full speed, sacks the hell out of the quarterback. The audience is on fire. Defensively, he's a beast. He just starts fucking everybody up on the field.
Doesn't he go into a montage where he's just like destroying
the offense through the whole game, hitting them, sacks him once, makes some fumbles. They score a touchdown off of it. He goes over there to celebrate. They don't celebrate with him.
Yeah, really mean.
Yeah, really mean, and goes to the fan. And
he's leading the fucking team.
I thought it was pretty funny. I'm a sports guy. So one of the fans goes, man, I haven't seen this good of a defender since Joe Montana. What a great linebacker. And he's all, look, you fucking idiot. Joe Montana was a quarterback. What the fuck are you talking about? And he looks at him and he goes, I met Joe Montana. And Bob. So it fast forward. It's going to the end of the game. All they need to do is
just kind of hold off the other team,
or score one more time either, hold off the other team. They get the first victory because this team hasn't won in multiple years, is what they were saying.
Fuck.
So Bobby is playing defense and he goes to number 62, and it says, "Hey, good luck on this last drive." And number 62,
he's like, "I hope you play well." And he's all like, "I'm gonna play with your mom tonight."
he looks at him and goes, "My mama is a saint."
No, he looks at her and he's like, 62.
62. So we go to the offense. Offense does her snap, throws the ball. Bobby Boucher interception. Bobby Boucher looks away and goes, 62. Throws the ball into him.
He gives the ball to 62. And let me just tell you, the crowd's like, yes, he got the ball. And then he throws it to 62. No.
So 62 runs the ball full speed. Bobby Boucher is behind him. 62 scores touchdown. It's a despicable loss. You know it hurts. Bobby Boucher goes up, double drop kick, as if he's Kenny Omega himself. The man himself. V-trigger. It's all coming out at once.
No one knows what the fuck you're talking about.
No, of course nobody knows. That's the point. So Bobby goes up to him, looks him in the eyes, and he says, "My mama is a saint. Always remember, mama's a saint." And he
just starts feeling defeated.
And everybody goes up to Bobby, and
he's like, "You lost the game,
the fans are like, that new guy sucks.
Bobby Boucher, you suck."
So G goes up to him.
He's like, "Hey, shithead,
you cost us the game." And Bobby says, "What to him?"
Bobby says, he's just like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Will you still be my friend?"
And he goes, "No, no, get away from me." I don't know why that.
So fucking mean.
Why would you say?
Fucking mean.
I don't know why you would say that to such a nice guy. He looked at him looking for friendship, and you dominated him.
Wanted a friend.
God.
Oh Jesus.
Such a fucked up scene.
That was
Super
such an uplifting game.
So Bobby.
Defeated.
So we go on.
So this is where we transition into meeting Vicky Valancourt.
Valancourt, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. We transition into meeting Vicky Valancourt.
We find her working on his tractor.
And he's like, "What's up, Bobby? I just got out of jail."
That's the first thing she says. She's like, "Hi, hi, Vicky," and she's
like, "Vicky Valancourt," and he's like, "Hey there, stud."
Yeah, she's like, "Hey, so what are we looking to go to a restaurant?" He's like, "Well, the thing is, Mama said we can't go to a restaurant. She believes they're associated with the devil."
And then Farmer Fran comes out of her. He's like,
James game. I look at Renee. I said, "Of course. Did you get that? I sure got that."
I'm starting to pick up on this.
I pick it up on his lingo. It's a little bit off English, but I get it. So Bobby's talking to Vicky, and she tells him like, "Hey, let's have some dinner sometime." And he says, "Yeah, I'll basically bring her over." So he ends up bringing her over to meet his mom.
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed this, but Bobby Boucher has the same exact suit that is apparently his dad gave, or was his dad. But they're all the same color. They're all different colors. They're all different fucking colors.
So Bobby gets home by driving the tractor at 95 miles an hour.
Because Vicky
Valentine's fixed it or did something to it 95 miles an hour driving down the street.
By the way, I souped up your lawnmower.
So he gets home and he brings Vicky to his mother as he introduces her to his mother.
And his mom's really fucking despicable because she does not like Vicky.
Yes, as she's cooking, of course, the best meal of the night or of the day at that time. No better than with your classic dinner plate, alligator barbecue.
They were like
baby alligator barbecue. Wow. Anyway, I sure love that crunch. So the best meal of the day.
So they start getting to talking, and they start.
Yeah, she introduces. Vicky is introduced to Mama, and Mama talks to Vicky as she's talking to him. She tells him. Vicky starts off with saying, "Hey, Bobby, that was a great game," and she says, "What game?" He says, "Of being a water boy." And Mama looks at him. He's like, "Wow, yeah, I don't understand that foosball is just a bunch of buffoons attacking each other." He's all, "My Bobby, remember that coach trying to bring you on to that foosball? So glad you didn't join that. You know, Bobby, I needed to ask you. They finally finding that gorilla that punched you in the eye."
he's all
Bobby literally looks at her. What does he say, Renee?
He says, and then, no, Mom, the search continues.
No, Mama, the search continues.
The search continues.
I was like, damn, it's a great line.
So great. She believes it.
So she's like, oh, of course. And she starts talking to her, and Vicky starts kind of saying Bobby's so good at what he does. And she says, I do find you, Mama tells Vicky, I see that you're very interested in my son. Vicky's like, yes, of course, I'm very interested. She's like, well, you should probably know that he has a very stinky feet and he likes to wear double socks.
And Bobby's just like, Mom, say that.
What a mean fucking thing to say. It was like, who the hell would say something like that?
And she counters back and she's just like, well, I find a man's stench very sexy.
So she tells him, let's just let you know he likes to wear pajamas with a cartoon character of
Deputy the dog.
Deputy the dog. She's like, Mom. She's like, oh, I sure do like cartoon characters on my man.
I happen to find Deputy Dog very sexy.
And then she goes,
and she looks Vicky Valancourt in the eye.
She looks him in the eye. She's all, I'm guessing Bobby Boucher has not explained to you his accidents in bed. And she goes, it quite frankly can't be that bad. And she points out these blankets in the fucking background that are putrid with piss stains so thick. I couldn't believe it. I looked at Renee. I said, by God, that's a lot of piss. There was so much fucking shit. And it was pretty funny.
What the? This is a 31-year-old man.
What's funny is it goes to Vicky's face, and she looks at the damn piss stains and eyes big as shit. She realizes what she's looking at.
It's a lot of piss.
So Bobby walks away to go, I guess.
Bobby gets embarrassed.
Gets embarrassed and he walks away for a
he's
second.
Like, oh, look what you did. He's like, what I did.
Yeah, and Vicky and Mama starts talking it out, and she basically explains to him that she does not want Vicky to associate herself with Bobby whatsoever anymore, because the only woman that will be in Bobby's life is Mama herself. And as that happens, Mama explains to Bobby that he will no longer be seeing this woman because she is the devil herself. Of course, she can see what we cannot rename. Obviously,
she sees the spawn of
Satan. She sees the spawn of Satan and any sort of figure. If it's human or if it's something, if it's college, it's got to be college. It associates himself. It's got to be all one.
Jesus Christ, man, this is fantastic.
No. The devil, Renee. The devil. What are you speaking of? Remember. Anyway, so from there on out, we go back to Bobby, and it's now begun his second game of the season.
Oh, is it the second game?
Yeah, I believe we're now
at the second game.
So we go to the second game of the season where Bobby's playing, and of course he's playing awesome. 16 sacks, just dominating the quarterback. He dominated the starting quarterback so bad that the starting quarterback was taken out of the game with a broken collarbone. And the backup's in the game. And the backup quarterback's in the game. And he looks at him. And the quarterback looks at him, and his mama's head comes out. She's all, I forbid you from seeing Vicky Valancourt. She is the devil. He's all, she's not the devil. She's not the devil. And the quarterback comes back to life, and he's all, what are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? He's all, she's the devil. He's all, please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me. The play starts off. Bobby running out.
Bobby breaks through the defense.
In 2 seconds. Incredible. I've never seen so much speed. He breaks through the defense. The quarterback starts running backwards because he's in so much fear. If he were to throw the ball, he would know he'd get drop kicked so damn quick. Then nobody could stop him. So he's running backwards. Bobby's jumping up, trying to see if he can get an interception.
Smack the football.
Do whatever it takes to make this quarterback run away. Quarterback runs all the way to the end of the end zone, tries to throw it, gets safety tackled, drilled. Horrible fucking
Mud Dogs win the game, though.
Mud Dogs win the game. He looks at the quarterback, puts him in the eyes, Mama, I love you, boy. I like Vicky. I'm so sorry, but I love you. I love you, Mama. And the quarterback comes out, I love you, too.
Fearing for his life.
Fearing for his life. You see it in his eyes.
I love you, too.
I love you, too. So they've won their first game of the season. And it's a big deal because they won their first game of the season. Nothing better.
Actually, they won their first game in years.
Yeah, they won their first game in years, and nothing better than that. They have a high school party with the coaches, and
it's a college party.
College party. Yeah, you're right.
With the coaches and the faculty.
Yeah, and everybody. And Farmer Fred definitely is there. So what does Bobby do when he shows up? The classic thing we always do. What do you do when you go to a party? Think about that for a second. Bring frog cakes. Frog cupcakes. The classic party intro food. That's the way you do it.
So he's like, hey, I brought my famous frog cupcakes. And the guy who opens the door is like, gee, thanks.
Yeah, the guy with the fucking that spit in his water earlier. Wow, okay, Bobby, thanks.
So he's just like, hey, Bobby, want a beer? And he's all like, I'll take a scotch of water. Hold the scotch.
And he goes, well, were you telling me a joke? He's all, yeah. And he's like, good one, Bobby. Walks away.
So he starts mingling in, and he goes to Coach Klein, and he's like, see, look, you guys won the first game of your season, and, you know, the nerves are shaking, and all you got to do is play right. And he's like, and the guy's like, well...
Also considering that, and our linebackers with 20 sacks a game.
He's all true.
He's all, well, yeah.
And so it transitioned into Bobby, you know, seeing Colonel Sanders again.
Well, yeah, he sees Colonel Sanders again at the party. He's like, hey, is that test still Wednesday? Whenever time you want it to be, Bobby. It's Wednesday, Saturday. That's
like,
best for you.
He's all, yeah, of course. He's all like...
Which is funny. I don't understand why he has two black eyes when he just got tackled.
He has two black eyes and a broken arm. He's all fucked up.
You know,
he should have been at a party.
I didn't bring fried chicken, Bobby. Don't kill me.
And he's all like, yes, of course. My best regards to your mama. And then he runs the fuck away.
He runs away struggling to get up the stairs.
And so he goes into his two girls, and his two girls are just like, hey, Bobby, you just started showing.
This is a really weird scene.
He goes, you seen any girls? And she's just like, I see a lot of girls. I also see a lot of guys. And he's referencing to, like, the people around the party. And the girl's like, what? And she's like, oh, wow, I think that's kind of sexy. Have you ever been with a
guy and a girl at the same time?
He's all, well, last week. He's all, sure I have. He's all, last week I was with my mama and Coach Klein. And the other girl
was like, fuck this, you're a freak.
She gets the fuck away, and then she's just all like, I think that's kind of sexy. Which is fucking weird.
Yeah, really
and
weird.
Then she's all like, how about you? I don't know what she says, but she's like, well, there's one girl that I'm seeing. She's named Vicky Valancourt. And, you know, she's actually really nice. And then Farmer Fred comes out of nowhere. He's eating those fucking cupcakes that you all should not bring to a party. And he's like, here you go, hold this. And he gives that fucking cupcake to the girl.
As he pulls the fucking skin out of his mouth. Gross as shit.
And then he takes Bobby's arm. Bobby, let's dance.
Fucking weird ass dance like he's Charlie Brown. It's some sort of Charlie Brown fucking episode.
And so doesn't it go? So after this, it
goes into our highlight montage.
It goes into a montage
of Bobby Boucher dominating fucking everybody.
The other teams.
And they start going on a winning streak. Like just him going fucking everyone up.
He's destroying the entire.
Beating the hell out of everyone.
Like, I don't even know what it's called, the entire teams, and it's also showing that that he's explaining like so his cuts and bruises.
He becomes a big superstar.
Yeah, he's becoming a superstar.
He becomes such a big superstar that they're introduced to Lawrence Taylor himself, and he's at a middle school camp
it's
teaching
like
kids football.
Lighting something camp.
Yeah, to teach the kids like
camp.
And LT's like, hey Bobby, what would you explain what would you do in your situation when you're playing football?
Like, whenever the quarterback snaps it from the center, he takes the ball and then he starts back out, which he will either receive. Either the quarterback will throw it or he'll give it to the running back. And it's my job to tackle the quarterback, and then if he was to give it to the receiver or the running back, then I would either tackle the running back.
And Lawrence Taylor literally goes, and that comes to my second point. Crack is whack.
No, he says, don't smoke crack.
And the kids are like, you're
like,
down.
Yes, not understanding what the fuck Bobby Boucher just said.
So
it transitions to another scene where he meets Vicky Valancourt, like, in just some part.
Before we get to that, it actually goes back to ESPN, where they're introducing, because the reason why we're watching these Bobby Boucher highlights is because Coach Red is actually watching them.
Yeah.
But during this, it also shows a team seeing so much success of Bobby Boucher that there's actually a team that tries using their towel boy. The first play,
I don't know why
the towel boy catches.
Towel boy looked like a little kid.
He catches the ball, gets fucking demolished, life-ending,
backflip,
career-ending fucking injury, horrifically knocked out. I don't know why they put him in. The guy who hits him's like 6'7", huge motherfucker.
And then and then fast forwarding from that, we go into a scene where we meet Vicky Valancourt, and Bobby Boucher goes up to her and he's just like, "Hey Vicky, what are you doing?" He's all like, "Oh, nothing. Just thinking about stealing that Porsche over there."
Yeah, stealing LT's Porsche. Beautiful Porsche, by the way.
That was a beautiful, like, convertible Porsche.
Yeah.
And so, they start sweet talking, and she's just like, "Okay, I want to go home with you." And then, like, they ride.
Yeah, really weird.
They ride together.
She's driving this Porsche she stole from LT,
and then
he's driving his lawnmower.
It's
beautiful, perfect perfection.
And so they go home. And Bobby brings her inside to his room, and his mom's asleep. Mm-hmm. He's just like, the devil.
The devil.
She dreams about the devil, apparently.
She knows what we do not read. She knows, smells it, breathes it.
Okay.
She knows.
So it transitions into Bobby having this really sentimental scene with Vicky Valancourt. She meets him, and what Bobby does is he shows her, or gives her, a bottle of water
from Alaska.
From the Alaskan waters.
It's very special.
It's very special.
It stays cold.
And it's
forever.
And it's like potion blue.
Yeah, it's like potion blue. Really cool, actually.
Yeah, it's actually really cool water. And he has it like in this little knapsack.
Like small container.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, it's cold." And then she's just like, "This guy's so fucking hot," and she stands up and kisses him.
Yeah, it's real weird at this point. I was kind of like, this is fucking weird. So, I don't know where this is going. He's like a man child, so I wasn't really digging this.
All right, so what happens is that he gets kissed by Vicky Valancourt.
Let's just put it this way. She tries to make a move.
Well, what happens is that and then after he kisses her, he goes and sits down like fucking shocked as shit, and he's just like, that. She's like, "That was your first kiss," and she's just like, "Yes, it was." And then
that was very, very nice.
And then she's like, "That was nice." And then she's like, "I bet it was your first." And then this is probably your first time too. And she unzips her shirt.
Yeah.
And shows her boobs. And he's like,
fucking weird.
And he's just like, "Yes, it is." And the expression on his face looks like he just saw Jesus Christ himself, or maybe the devil. I don't know.
So she tries to make a move on Bobby, but of course Bobby can hear what only his mother can hear as well. And Bobby says, I believe she can. She's awake. She's awake. Mama's awake.
Mama's awake.
And we go to Mama, and she's obviously speaking to the devil, trying to fight him back herself. The devil.
He's like, I think you better go. I think you better go, Vicky Valancourt. And he's just, Bobby, I don't even know why I try. You're not even a man. And she zips up her shirt and she fucking leaves.
She leaves, and we go to Bobby.
Where did we go?
I believe Bobby is after that, because he was hanging out with Vicky
Valancourt.
And then they start doing like a celebration, I'm guessing.
Oh, they go into that the kind of a rally.
Yeah, it's like a pep rally.
Pep rally, okay, that's at night in a swamp.
Everybody's celebrating because Bobby.
Well, they're celebrating because they're going to the Bourbon Bowl.
Yeah.
We're there yet, right?
Yeah.
We're there, okay. So they're all going to the Bourbon Bowl. Oh, fuck. Sorry.
Fuck.
Sorry. But they're all going to the Bourbon Bowl. They're having this giant pep rally. And Bobby Boucher, for the first time, well, what we can see, it looks like for the first time, is that he looks like he's a part of something.
Yeah, he's really proud of himself.
He's running with the team, and he has this like.
And they're all cheering for him, and they love him because he's like their superhero.
Yeah, and they're getting pumped up, and they're saying that they're going to defeat.
Coach Klein starts speaking a speech, and so does Bobby has a speech. And as this is happening, there's a phenomenal fan out there that's being as supportive as can be. As he says, "You can do it. You can do it."
You don't know who the fuck that is.
Who do you think it is?
It's fucking Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider himself
fucking
with
Schneider.
his cameo dressed up as some sort of farmer.
He's a dirty farmer. Dirty swamp Louisianan farmer.
So-
And he looks fucking fantastic.
So yeah, he says you can do it.
You can do it!
As this happens, a bus comes out of nowhere.
A big fucking Greyhound bus comes out of nowhere.
And the football stairs start coming out. One of the football players that used to bully Bobby from UL, which is the University of Louisiana, comes out and straight up goes up to Bobby and tells him...
He's like, I think I'm a little lost. Fuck, what does he say?
He tells him, why don't you try hitting me, Bobby, huh? Why don't you try coming at me? And Vicky comes up and puts her knife to his neck. And she says, if you move any more inches, I'll slice your neck.
And then fucking Rob Schneider's just like...
I'll cut his fucking head off.
He's like, do it! And he finds out that he's alone in that comment.
He says, cut his fucking head off. And he looks around and nobody's fucking... He's like, oh.
Nobody's with him.
And as that happens, Coach Red comes up and he looks around and he's all, whoa, whoa, whoa. Why don't we hold up a second? How about we put the knife away? We're here trying to be civil. We're a little bit lost.
By the way, that's an assault with a deadly weapon.
So the cops take
her away, Sheriff.
And he looks at Coach Klein. He's all, we're all here for the same thing, the Bourbon Bowl, right? And as this happens, Coach Klein looks at him. And at this point, I didn't even recognize this originally. What happens from there?
What this fucking coach starts doing is, I thought at first glance, I thought that he was gonna stand up and stick up for Bobby Boucher and his team, rightfully so, what a coach should do. But no, he doesn't do that.
He definitely doesn't do that.
He just looks around, and then he slowly starts slipping back. Doesn't even look like his legs are moving. Doesn't even look like his body's moving. He just slowly
slides through his team,
floats out of frame. The only one that notices him was Farmer Fred, but nobody knows what the fuck Farmer Fred's saying.
If Farmer Fred had said, blah, 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 I would have known something was up. I would have known. But Farmer Fred kept silent, which is very strange because in the movie he's not silent throughout the whole film. So it was one of those few times where I was a little bit confused.
So what happens is that Coach Red comes up and he says to the crowd and everybody there, he says, right here is Bobby Boucher's high school transcripts. But the only problem is that this transcript is a fake and that this high school doesn't exist.
Yep.
And the crowd's all like, what? What the fuck? And then that guy's all like, Bobby Boucher, you're a liar. Cut his fucking head off.
Bobby Boucher, that off. What a piece of shit crowd.
Disgusting,
They're all
man.
assholes. They're all supporting, like, yeah.
And then we find out that, what we can see is that from our knowledge that Bobby Boucher is a cheater.
Yeah, Bobby Boucher, unfortunately, is a cheater. And then G, the quarterback, says, look, no matter what, it's been with him or without him, we're still the Mud Dogs, and we can still win this game.
I think, no, there's no way.
There's no fucking way.
No
Realistically, he's a pathetic quarterback. They're all mediocre. Bobby Boucher made them from pathetically mediocre to great. Let's be honest. So Bobby is shocked, and he goes to the coach's office the next day.
Yeah, he goes to the coach's office.
Coach Klein, and he tells Coach Klein, I don't understand. I didn't remember putting my high school transcript on there. I was homeschooled. I don't know how they would think that I was going to a high school. And then Klein straight up goes, it's all my fault. It was always my fault. I put it on there.
I'm the cheater. And Bobby's like, why? He's all, because I needed you or something like that. And he's like, I'm just so frustrated. And he fucking throws
No. He says, I was once a coach, to understand, Bobby. I used to be an assistant coach for another great university, but I lost my job and I lost it, and it made me cry like a 10-year-old for a whole day. Damn it! He throws the damn glass through the window, knocking it out.
He throws a baseball through
baseball.
A thin ass window apparently, and it fucking goes so hard that it hits Colonel Sanders
knocking his ass out.
He's like, man, he falls,
drops to the ground, and he starts to tell Bobby about what happened in his past.
And so what happened is that we get a really good insight of Coach Red coming into Coach Klein's office, and apparently Coach Klein was the genius. Was the football genius.
It was all inside that green book that Coach Red has now to this
day. It was
day.
Coach Klein's green notebook originally. And what had happened was that he was doing notes, and then Coach Red comes up to him and he says, what's wrong?
Nothing.
Oh, you just...
Nothing.
So, Coach Klein notices... Yeah, you checking out my gear.
Anyway, so Coach
Red notices... Well, Coach Red is like, look, there's this job coming up.
Yeah, they were both kind of going for this same head coaching position because the head coach is about to retire.
Yeah.
And they're going to pick either one of the two. And the thing is, Klein was the genius behind the plays, but Red was the one who would tell Klein to go basically make the plays for him.
Yeah. So he's just like, look, Coach Klein, I'm going to need that green notebook you got there. He's all like, no, it's my green notebook. And he picks it up and he holds it tight. And he's just like, now look, you're going to give me that green notebook. And I won't have to get physical. And so what Coach Red does is he slowly puts his hand on that green notebook. And he slowly takes it from Coach Klein's hands. And Coach Klein just lets him.
Yeah, he does.
And then he goes into this really weird scene where Coach Klein is crying on the phone
with his grandma.
To his grandma, but then we figure out that
he's wearing high heels,
and the line of the phone is cut. So he's talking to himself, and he's just like, "I know, Grandma, I didn't get the job." Coach Red,
I hate him. I hate him. I hate him.
I hate him. I hate him. He's stomping the floor with his high heels.
We don't know where the fuck it was going. We should have expected that.
And then I don't fucking know. So
he explains to Bobby that what he can do is Bobby can
take a high school
equivalency exam, right?
Yeah. And so what Bobby Boucher does is he starts studying up on a high school equivalent exam. And so this is where it comes, where he goes back to his house and he's studying for his exam that he's gonna have to take to get into college.
Yeah.
So
he starts studying.
So he starts studying at his house, and his mom's like, "Why are you even studying? You know books are the devil." And then he's just like, "Mom, I need to study." And she's trying to brush his hair. She's like, "Mom, look, stop! I'm trying to study." And he's just like, "You always are studying. Don't you know college is what?" And as she was about to say, the devil. Bobby stands up. He's like, "What? The devil?"
No. Because she talks to him. And she tells him, "Well, why are you studying?" He's like, "Well, I gotta study for this exam and then college." And then she says, that's when she says, "Don't you know college is the devil?" He's like, "What? The devil? Everything's the devil to you, Mom?"
And she's shocked. She sits down in a chair and just so shocked that Bobby Boucher stood up to his mother.
Yeah, and Bobby starts walking away. And he tells, "You know what? I like football and I like college.
No, I'm good at it.
I'm good. I'm good at it. And you know what? I like Vicky Court."
He's like, "You know what? I kissed Vicky Valancourt, and I like that. And I like Vicky Valancourt, and she showed me her boobies, and I like them too." And he fucking storms out the house.
What the fuck?
And his mom's there sitting there flabbergasted.
Literally flabbergasted.
And so what we do
is we go to Bobby taking the test.
And he's sitting in an empty ass fucking gym by himself. And there's 3 test administrators in front of him. And there's this guy who's like, "These is 300 and however many questions. You have 3 hours to take this test." I'm just like, fucking easy.
So he starts taking the test, and the first thing he reads is the first question is...
First off, Vicky Valancourt, like, taps on the glass, and he's like, she holds up a sign, "Do you want me to kill him?"
He's like, "No, what the...
No, don't fucking kill him." And then so what he does is he reads the first question.
The first question is, when did Ben Franklin create electricity? And it goes back to a flashback where he asks his mother, "Mama, when did Ben Franklin create electricity? He's all, Ben Franklin didn't create electricity. I created electricity. Benjamin Franklin is the devil. And of course, this woman, obviously, she knew the truth before we knew, before the history books were created. So,
Jesus Christ.
She's the creator of electricity. I misread that in my novels years ago.
Mama Boucher.
Mama Boucher, the great one. So he goes to the test. We find out Bobby Boucher makes a 97. Woo!
Fucking passes it with
shit. I would have made a fucking C.
It's a high school.
It's a high school quiz. We have college degrees, and we're all.
We're like, fuck,
man, we would have fucked up. Got so fucked up by that damn test.
3 hours, my brain would have been scrambled eggs.
So yeah, so as he is celebrating that he got his
high school
test,
equivalency, I guess, grades,
certificate or some sort, he finds out that Mama is sick.
No, the sheriff comes. The
sheriff comes up to tell him.
Sheriff comes up and he's with Vicky Valancourt. And Vicky Valancourt's like, "Fuck, I gotta go." And then she's like, he's like, "Bob Boucher, your mom's in the hospital."
Yeah.
And so we transition into this scene where
Bobby goes into the hospital and finds out that Mama is knocked out cold, and the doctors explain to him, we don't know what's wrong with her. And obviously they don't, because only Mama could know what's wrong with her.
Obviously.
Because she knows everything. No doctor's going to tell her what's wrong with her. So Bobby becomes very guilty, because he's figured out that, unfortunately, if he blames himself for what has happened to Mama, because he hasn't been there enough, and she got it sick on his time, so he decides that he will stick to what she says and not play football.
And he's gonna have to stick around and take care of Mama. And so what happens is that they make that it doesn't happen, and it will never happen. But they make that fucking hospital room into their house.
They make it into their house, and while this is happening, Vicky...
and they bring that fucking donkey.
They bring that donkey. That donkey's a good person, dude. He knows that Mama knows. You gotta always remember that, Renee. Okay? So, she brings that... Vicky goes on to... Because Bobby feels like... So, he explains to her that there was a guy in the stands that said... that to cut his head off, and they all agreed. So he didn't think that they cared about him. So Vicky goes on to meet up with each person, which is really weird. This civilians of this city, in Louisiana,
apparently that guy
in the state. There's a guy sleeping in a camp, and then there's a guy.
The guy who says you can fucking do it.
He's eating a goat.
He's eating
a goat alive. What a monster!
Not even cooked. There's blood all over his face.
And then the two sheriffs are in a cabin together with their shirts off
and drinking champagne.
I don't understand what that's trying to insinuate, but I'm not gonna stick to that. Anyway, so
she gathers up this crowd of people to come and have Bob Boucher his own prep rally, pretty much at the hospital. And Bob Boucher looks at them, and Vicky Valancourt's like, "You see all these people, Bobby?" Or no, he says, "Look, there's someone here that wants to talk to you." And this pathetic fucking man goes up and it's like, "Bobby, the good Lord didn't bless me with good looks or charm or athletic ability, but you were blessed, and you get people who weren't blessed with good looks. Hey, good job." He starts fucking crying.
Pathetically.
And he starts crying on Vicky Valancourt. And Vicky's like, "Look, see, Bobby, we got all these people here for you." And they're all here. And Bobby's all like, "I'm sorry, but all this stress has been taking out a lot on my mom. And I just can't do it." And what he does is he fucking makes the people go away. He's like, "Well, I thank you guys for all coming out, but I really appreciate it if you keep it down, because my mama needs a rest. And he's like, "Bye now."
I think what Rob Snyder's character is like, "Well, wake her up. We got a game tomorrow."
He's like, "Well, wake her ass up. We gotta win this thing." Fucking asshole.
What an asshole, dude.
Fucking asshole.
So Bobby decides to stick with his mama, and make sure she's okay.
And so they wake up the next morning and
we wake up the next morning and Mama's awake.
Mama's awake.
And she starts to explain to him that she's not sick. And Bobby tries to explain to her that he will not play football anymore. But she tells him that football is not the problem. And she starts to show Bobby about his father, the truth about his father.
Yeah. And what happens is that apparently when she was pregnant with Bobby is that...
he went to go get a job in the city.
I don't even know if he went to go get a job in the city. I think he just went to New Orleans.
He went to New Orleans to see if he could make money.
Okay, yeah, okay.
And he said he would be gone only for a little bit, and to hopefully they'd be.
Oh, he only be gone for 6 weeks.
Yeah, and then he ended up sending out another letter about how he found a job. I forgot where.
And he's making money is hard.
Yeah, it's hard. And then his third letter, he now has a different kind of writing, and his name has been changed to Roberto.
Because it sounds more exotic.
More exotic. Because he has a new girlfriend or something. I don't know.
And apparently he fell in love with not her.
Yeah, not her, just to tell her that he's not in love with her. Oh, mean.
And
so Bobby finds out that his dad's actually kind of a piece of crap, and he realized that Mama, the real reason why that Mama wanted to keep him with her is because she didn't want him to leave her as well.
Which is really sentimental.
It's really sad to think about it. It's because she just doesn't want to lose him.
And honestly, she doesn't have anybody.
Yeah,
you know?
other than Donkey, that's obviously a very viable part of the family. So we go to Bobby deciding... Well, Mama decides that Bobby should play the football game.
Yeah.
So Bobby says, okay. And as they start to head to the football game, we go to the first half of the Mud Dogs getting completely motherfucking annihilated in every aspect of this fucking football game. The cheerleaders obviously are doing the best they can in their support of drinking alcohol and doing drugs consistently in this big stand of bullshit that's happening all at fucking once. That's the reality of the situation.
And apparently...
Hopefully the fans... It looks like the cheerleaders are trying to support the fans in their horrible way of life by hopefully making the fans support them by consuming alcohol as well.
But apparently Bobby Boucher and Vicky Valancourt and his mom all hop on a flyboat and start making their way to the boat.
That's a fast fucking boat.
To the fucking bourbon boat, and his mom's driving the fucking flyboat. I never mentioned this, but his mom's a fucking badass.
Mom is a complete fucking badass.
She kills mooses.
Oh yeah, she killed a moose in the movie. It was really impressive.
Fucking moose.
Yeah, but still the snake's the most impressive thing.
I've never seen anything like it.
Snakes. I'm gonna cook it. No, I'm kidding.
That was a fucking python, dude.
I can't believe it was a fucking python.
It was barbecued.
So it was barbecued, wasn't it? So we go to the first half, and they're all getting dominated. Even the ESPN, the ABC commentators are like, well, hopefully the Mud Dogs can come back in the second half. And as they go off the air, they look at each other like, yeah, because they fucking suck. So we go to the locker room, and you see all the teammates.
And fucking Coach Klein is behind the towels in the locker. And he's just...
Does anybody have a good idea of what we should do? He's the coach.
He's the coach. He's the head coach of this fucking team.
Yeah.
And he's just like... And nobody responds.
Until one of the linemen says, do you remember that time Bobby Boucher
tackled the referee?
Tackled the referee by mistake. He's like, that was pretty funny.
He's like, remember that time Bobby Boucher tackled that
receiver so hard he threw him in the stands. and then
Guy's just like, remember that time that Bobby intercepted that ball and his pants fell?
And he ran all the way back for a touchdown with his pants on the ground, or his ass hanging out.
With his bare ass. And then Farmer Friend gives the real insight on what the hell...
At this point in the movie, I'll put it this way. I understood the language. We are going to explain to you right here, right now, what Farmer Fran had been saying from the beginning. Renee, present it to our audience.
Well, Farmer Fran says, he's like...
Genius. That is what we're talking about, guys. That phenomenal sentence is what you were waiting for. I'm proud to say that was Farmer Fran himself. And
the entire locker room looks at fucking Farmer Fran and just doesn't know what the fuck he just said.
They're not at our intellect or Mama's intellect. to understand the complexity of this man's Senate structure. Okay,
and so we have a huge storybook fairy tale story come to life. The man himself, Bobby Boucher. He's like, remember the time Bobby Boucher came at halftime, run the Barber Bowl, and everyone cheers the fuck up, and they fucking start hugging. They're like, yeah, yes.
And then Guy goes up to him and says, I need to understand, Bobby, that you really are the heart of this team. And Bobby's really excited. And that they come back from halftime and they play
to fucking Rush Tom Sawyer's
Rush Tom Sawyer.
That's how you know it's going to be fucking great.
I was only 2 times I've seen Rush Tom Sawyer work so well. In Waterboy, and that episode of Family Guy when the Cheeto starts smoking a damn Cheeto. It ain't easy being cheesy.
God damn it, Sean.
You remember that?
Yes.
That's the only other time it has ever worked. That's so sad to say.
Okay.
So
Coach Red on the other team is shocked, but he's like, okay, wait, just stick to the plan. Everybody, just stick to the plan, and to find out that Bobby Boucher starts kicking their ass.
First play of the drive, Bobby Boucher attacks the fuck out of that quarterback, annihilating him.
They get a fucking. He fumbles the ball. They pick up the ball and they score a touchdown. The first touchdown of the game for the Mud Dogs. And so what starts happening?
Coach Red recognizes that the offense of the Mud Dogs isn't doing shit.
Yeah.
So he decides, which is a pretty smart play if you think about it for a coach. He decides the best way to beat him is just to run the clock out. So he starts just QB kneeling, which is actually an actual play that most teams do when the game's over and they're going to have the game won. So he starts QB kneeling, and he runs all 4 plays and punts the ball to give it back to the offense.
Yeah.
Because of this, what happens with Coach Klein?
Coach Klein...
he doesn't burp. Sorry to confuse y'all, but he doesn't fucking belch.
I have pancreatitis. Anyways, Coach Klein does what he does best. Well, he doesn't do this best, but Coach Klein, kind of just floats away. He floats behind his fucking wide receivers, and he's just like, he just starts walking away. At this point,
he's almost out to damn.
Coach Klein was going the fuck home. He wasn't gonna.
Coach Klein was going the fuck home.
They
were giving him a lot of time now that I think about it for this possession change.
Bobby Boucher goes up to him and he's just like, "Hey, Coach Klein, where you going?" And he's just like, "I want to go get a hot pretzel."
Fair, he's hungry. It's a time of the game.
Yeah, the coach,
most essential time of the game.
The coach is getting a hot pretzel. I've never seen anything like it. But wow. So Bobby Boucher asks Coach Klein. She's just like, Coach Klein, are you afraid of Coach Red? Coach Klein looks like, I am petrified of that man.
I am petrified. So why don't you just
do what you show
visualize him as somebody you don't or are not afraid of at all, or something cute, and you can look past it.
And he's like, visualize an attack. And he's like, visualize an attack, huh? Okay, I'll try it. So here comes the fucking weirdest thing, and one of the weirdest things in this fucking movie. He looks at Coach Red, and Coach Red looks at Coach Klein. And Coach Red starts laughing at Coach Klein. And as Coach Red is laughing, his face starts morphing. It starts morphing
into what you believe, the devil. Oh no!
No, it doesn't do that. It starts morphing into a baby's head.
Yeah,
and with curly red hair.
What's the difference? No.
Oh my god!
No, I'm kidding.
And he starts laughing, and Coach Klein.
No, it's not any baby's head. It is actually the baby's head from the son of Teletubbies. Goo goo gaga. The fucking baby from Teletubbies.
Holy shit.
Perfectly transitioned into his body.
Coach Klein looks at him. He's like,
I thought that was so creepy. Bobby Boucher's like, oh shit, this is weird.
And he's all like, and he starts doing it like, he's like, okay, you know what? Alright, give me that playbook. And he starts jotting down plays.
So he literally does basically a double wide receiver around which is like an actual NFL play.
Can you explain that for some people who?
So it's
wouldn't know
kind
what that
of
is?
he has basically 2 wide receivers set up on each ends, and his running back is also with him. So what the play works is the quarterback hikes the ball, starts to sweep to his right. He hands it off to the first receiver. The first receiver starts sweeping to the left. He pitches it back to the receiver to the right. As the receiver's running to the as another round through the right, goes straight forward. The quarterback's to his left. The defensive player comes up, tries to tackle the receiver. It's another pitch back to the left, back to the quarterback. Quarterback runs straight forward through the middle for a touchdown. So that's basically what he did.
If you people can see my face,
I didn't explain that very well, but I feel like I explained it enough. That was pretty okay.
Okay, so the pitch back, hoopla. They scored a touchdown. Yeah, a touchdown.
Touchdown!
Yeah, okay. Coach Red does not fucking believe.
Coach Red's like, what do we pay these guys for?
And so
they don't pay them; they're in college.
So what they start doing is they start, doing some visualizing and attacking formats and
yeah. So what Coach Red decides to do is to get his offense rolling again. He puts his best defensive player, that piece of shit bully from the beginning of the movie, defender. It's a player Meanie. That's his name.
His name's Meanie.
And he goes into the field, and Bobby Boucher looks at him. He's like, "Hey, Bobby, is your girlfriend gonna have to protect you this time?" And Bobby's like, "Oh, no, I don't believe so this time, sir." And he looks at him. He's all, "Woo, yeah!"
You sound like a big old choo-choo train.
He goes in there, gets tripped up by one player. Bobby Boucher picks him up, completely last ride powerbomb, slams him into the fucking ground, into the abyss. 1, 2, 3, match.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
Out for the count,
Out for
baby.
the count.
Down for the count, baby.
Down for the count. What a great tackle. I'll give him that.
I've never seen anything like that.
I didn't even know they were allowed that. They don't. I don't know how they did this game. But, yeah.
So what happened? Actually, I don't know if this is happening, but a reporter goes up to Vicky Valancourt and just like, "Oh, look, you're filling in for Bobby Boucher," and then she's just like, "Well, I don't want to say filling in. I'm just trying not to mess up." She's like, "Now let me ask you this: what are your predictions for the game?" And she's like, "Oh, that's easy. Mud Dogs are gonna win 30-27." He's like, "Oh, wow, how'd you come up with that guess?" She's like, "Guess? That ain't no guess. That's what it's gonna be."
The HBC's guy's like, "Wow." He's like, "Wow, don't intimidate her. Don't let her intimidate you anymore. Just pull back from that damn question." And in the background, his mom's just dancing.
His mom's giving coffee to the cheerleaders. So
giving coffee to the cheerleaders, trying to rejuvenate them because I don't know why they were doing such a great performance in the first place.
The first 7
They were doing such a great season, phenomenal performance, especially that damn Mud Dog himself with the alcohol drinking abilities. Phenomenal, phenomenal.
Passed out.
I'd hire him on the spot. So because of that, they made that stop on that defensive player, and they go to the kicker, and the kicker ends up kicking the ball. And
he starts visualizing and attacking too.
Yeah, he visualizes and attacking.
Great technique where he visualizes the football's head as a Ku Klux Klan's mix. A KKK member's head.
Yeah, a KKK member's head, which gets pretty uncomfortable, but it manages to go in, and that's
yeah, sure.
Yeah,
like, okay.
It's like okay. Yeah, let's just kick that in there.
And he kicks the fucking ball.
Yeah.
He makes a field goal.
It worked.
And now they're down by 3.
Now they're down. No, they're down by 10.
They're down by 10.
They're down by 10. So we go down by 10. They get the ball back.
And Vicky Valancourt looks at the reporter, just like, "Fucking told you."
No, it's not that point yet. So they're down by 10. The Mud Dogs have the ball back because they already made another stop.
Yeah.
The Mud Dogs have the ball back. They actually have Bobby now on offense.
Oh, wow.
So the quarterback gets the ball, starts running to his right, and Bobby Boucher is the blocker.
Oh,
and as
shit.
each defender comes up, you hear going, fucking dominating the fuck out of them as he keeps hitting the shit out of them.
He's just a fucking ox, dude.
Beast of a man. Complete beast of a man.
And they score another touchdown, right?
They score another touchdown because of that play. And they decide to do an onside kick. And with the onside kick, Bobby Boucher is now on special teams.
Oh, shit.
And they kick the ball on special teams, and Bobby Boucher recovers the football.
Well, Derek Wallace looks in the crowd, and he picks who he's going to kick it to.
Oh, wait, no, he picks one of the players.
Yeah, he picks the players who he's going to kick it to.
And you could tell the one he picks is nervous.
Is really nervous. And he's like, oh, all right, you're my bitch now.
Yeah. So he kicks it to him, and Bobby Boucher recovers. And when he recovers, that part where Renee was talking about that the reporter looks at her, that she looks at him, and she's like, "You're damn right."
I don't know how the fuck she knew this, but she knew. No, it's not.
Renee, Mama always knows.
Okay.
Of course you know she knew. Why do you think Mama was in the background dancing? She knew it from the beginning of the damn game. Of course. Mama always know. Mama said, Mama said,
Mama said, my dogs are going to win 30-27.
Told Vicky. Come on, think about it.
All right.
So we go to the Mud Dogs on offense. Bobby Boucher is now the running back. He has now played all portions of it. I'm just surprised he hasn't been the kicker yet. But, so he's playing almost every position on the field.
And this is Coach Klein's genius.
Yeah, Coach Klein is now playing offensively great. He visualizes Coach Red as a puppy, and obviously that has worked really well. The puppy we all expected is what he was going to visualize.
Okay, so now we're at the final play.
Final play of the game.
We're going to bring it home.
The Mud Dogs have decided to not go for a field goal. Even though they're in field goal range because Bobby Boucher got injured in the play prior, they attacked him after the play was over.
Oh, that's right.
And Vicky had to pull out that Alaskan beautiful blue potion-like water to revive him, and he did a kick-up, like as if he was Shawn Michaels getting back on the field.
And he's like, that's high-quality H2O.
So, basically, Bobby Boucher is on offense, and he's running back for the last play. Coach Red told all his defenders to focus specifically on Bobby Boucher. If Bobby Boucher gets the ball, to completely focus on him.
Exactly.
So, G looks at Bobby and says, are you ready? Bobby Boucher, let's do this.
He says, let's do this, friend.
Let's do this, friend. Yeah. Which emphasizes in the beginning of the movie when G told him to his face, no, get away from me. The most brutal fucking scene in any movie history. Goodness gracious, I've never seen such brutality. It was like a Mortal Kombat fucking attack. It was so vicious. So we go back and G says, hikes the ball back, toss back, option to Bobby Boucher.
Okay, you told me this play is actually used a lot in the NFL.
No, it's actually rarely used in the NFL. And the reason why it's rarely used in the NFL is because typically quarterbacks are not athletic enough to make these kind of plays because they're usually the most unathletic players in the field other than the kickers or punters.
Yeah.
So what Bobby did was he ran to his right, exposing the left side of his offense, and the quarterback just ran forward as if he was some sort of blocker. And the defense just didn't commit to the quarterback, implying that, first of all, throwing over over the side of the field is a very difficult way to do it. You typically don't have the strength to make a play like that. And secondly, nobody knew Bobby Boucher was going to throw the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody in this whole game saw Bobby Boucher ever throw the ball. So we all implied, okay, Bobby Boucher is going to try to make the play. And it actually works really well because Bobby Boucher runs up, starts smiling, and he slows down, giving the defenders the time to completely commit to defending Bobby Boucher. And at that point in time, the quarterback's so down the field and completely open. Bobby Boucher smiles and throws the deep ball, the one, the only, the Hail Mary itself.
Oh, shit.
Thrown into the sky. The ball's thrown up, perfectly spiraled. We didn't know Bobby Boucher had the arm of Joe Montana himself. He really was Joe Montana.
God damn it. Everyone's fucking flabbergasted. Everyone's just like, oh my God.
The ball's in the air. It's incredible.
Vicky Valancourt's looking at it. His mom's looking at it. The entire team. Farmer Fran's rubbing his nipples.
Rubbing his nipples in so much excitement because the football was so perfectly spiraled. G's up in the air. The ball comes. Tips. By the tips of his fingers, catches the ball. Goes down. Touchdown. Mud Dogs.
Mud Dogs win 30-27.
30-27. Vicky looks at the reporter. He panics, runs the fuck out of the arena. He knows the mistake he's made. That doesn't really happen, but we're implying that probably happened.
And so, Bobby Boucher
celebrates. The whole field consumes. The whole fans consume the arena. Bobby Boucher has won the Bourbon Bowl. Red has lost. The Green Book means nothing. Coach Klein is defeated. Red, the greatest moment
Coach Red's defeated.
in football history currently, to this day, has finally happened on the field. And we as fans of football, as one of me personally, I can personally say, this is football.
So the fans pick up Bobby Boucher.
Fancy.
And he's just like, I can't believe I did it. I can't believe I did it. And the reporter comes and he's like, Bobby Boucher, how you feeling? I love my mama.
It was like Rocky 1. Beautiful scene. You heard the dun 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 dun. It was like Rocky 1. Beautiful ending of the movie. Not the end of the movie.
No.
We go on to Bobby getting married on his tractor
To
Vicky very quickly.
Yeah,
A
very
marriage. I
fucking
didn't see
quickly.
that coming.
Yeah.
And
It makes sense.
he's getting married. All his coach is there. His friends are there.
Yeah.
Of course, Wallace is there. It's a great time. And he's about to drive away. Guess who shows up?
I guess to stop him and fucking...
Mr. Boucher. Not Bobby Boucher.
Roberto Boucher.
Roberto himself.
Bobby Boucher's dad.
Dad shows up. And he tells basically Bobby that he would love for him to go professional because he's so skilled, and that he would be his agent and they could work together like him and Tiger Woods and his dad did. And Mrs. Boucher sees that, commits to the tackle.
Actually, Bobby's just like, no, Dad, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna graduate and go to college. He's like, forget that. He said, fuck that. Make money. Do it for the money.
The money. And Mrs. Boucher targets him up, visualizes, attacks, and directly spears him like she's Goldberg herself
into
the ground, and takes on Mr. Boucher as Bobby and Vicky drive away into the sunset on their tractor in a beautiful shot to end the film.
Jesus Christ.
Waterboy.
Wow.
I
don't know if you can tell by this excitement that me and Sean had.
The best way to put it, before you go any farther, Renee, let's just say it quenched my thirst.
I can't believe you just fucking told me that.
On the reels. Renee, what did you think about this?
What did I think?
Let's let you go first.
Wow, this is a true underdog story. This is a true fairy tale out of nowhere. Don't judge a book by its cover. Coming of age when the man was already 31. Type of story. But Adam Sandler at his finest is really good. And I think the fucking movie speaks for itself. I just want to say that if you grew up in the time period that me and Sean grew up in, these Adam Sandler movies were giant in your childhood. And I'm glad that I still think this movie holds up. I love the shit out of it. And
there's definitely some Adam Sandler movies that just don't.
Yeah, we can't fucking speak of this. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Maybe. None any promises. We're not hinting at anything. Don't fucking think it's gonna be that movie.
Don't start requesting them, please.
Please
don't do it. This will get really ugly.
Okay, so yes, this is a great movie that I think lasted the test of time. That's what I think. What do you think, Sean?
Wow. Let's just put it into this perspective. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but I just consumed some water. And water has a quality that never changes. It's always liquidy, tasty, and nourishing. And the best way I can put this movie is Waterboy gives you the opportunity to see a comedy that is consistent, stupid, and hilarious at all times. I'm happy to say that I can still enjoy this movie. Now, no question, there are some flaws in this film.
Oh, yeah.
Like the film itself. But if you look past some things and try not to be so sensitive with the subject. There's obviously things in these films that are very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And if you can find ways to look past it, I know that from the time period that it's from, it can be very difficult at times. But if you can look past it and try not to be so sensitive for a second and just try to look at it as a good time and try not to take it so serious, and you can kind of have just a great time. And I think that Bobby Boucher is still a great comedy, and it should still be watched to this day. And if you get the opportunity, if you haven't seen it, I don't know how the hell you're at the end of this podcast, to be completely honest. But if you have, we hope that you've enjoyed it as well, because the best way I can put it is I've enjoyed it. I know Renee enjoyed it.
Oh, I loved it.
And we hope to do more comedy movies like this for you guys. So yeah, this has been Waterboy.
This has been a fabulous time with me and Sean, but this has definitely been
fabulous.
This is fabulous.
Always remember, if there's anything I can say before we go, Mama said. Abdullah Abogada.
Medulla oblongata.
This has been Waterboy, folks. Hope you enjoyed. We'll hear from us.
Oh, yeah, and hey, also enjoy the fucking Super Bowl, whoever's...
Oh, yeah, enjoy the Super Bowl, whoever's playing. I predict, by the way, we're doing this before the Super Bowl, so I predict it's right now New England against the New Orleans Saints. And if I'm correct, just know, Mama told me.
Wow, how'd you make that prediction?
It's the New England Patriots, Renee. Are you fucking kidding me? But it's a side note. All right, y'all have a good night, or good morning, or good evening, or good afternoon. Hope you enjoyed.
Thank you.
This has been the Twin Ennsville Amphitheater Podcast. Tune in again sometime soon.